Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits, as it should. You should always be in good spirits. Why? Because another day above the dirt is always a blessing, dagnabbit. Let's not forget that, y'all. It is, it's been an interesting week, and it's just getting crazier, as we have already expected, okay? Everything from the CEO getting the United Healthcare guy, the CEO losing his life, okay, and hit the actual assailant getting caught, to Jay-Z being thrown into the vortex of the diddler. There's just been more and more information that has been been trampling down this incredibly creepy and wild alley this week. And we're going to talk about it. There's a lot to talk about, especially the stuff that is going on right now revolving around the diddler. Yes, there's more stuff. There's things that I didn't get a chance to cover with you guys yesterday that we will be covering on this morning's show. And then there's some other things that we are going to talk about in a later show in a couple hours. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss that one as well. It has been absolutely crazy. And I'm telling you, there's a lot going on. Lot of stuff going on with this situation with the diddler. Holy cow. Oh my God. But we knew that this was coming. We knew that this was coming. So we got to talk about all of this and all of the mess. Okay, so do me a favor. Before we get into everything, hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Crush it. Do me that solid. Hit that like button if you're watching on other platforms like the TikTok. Sup. Hit that reaction button down below. If you are watching on those other platforms like TikTok, Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, Rumble, make sure you hit that follow button. Follow those platforms, please and thank you. You'll get the same, hopefully the same amount of information and energy here if you're watching on YouTube. So please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button on my main channel here if you're watching on my main channel on YouTube. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Make sure you are crushing that subscribe button over there, The Pascal Show Clips, because there's a lot of things I'm covering over there that are not being covered here on this main channel. And sometimes they cross. So please be sure you're subscribed. Make sure both notification bells are set to all, so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, you get that information, because a lot of times it's breaking news stuff. Like this is breaking news right now, which we are going to talk about hot and fresh out the oven in this particular situation on this particular show. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit that join button down below. Become a member of the family. Check out my Patreon and my locals if you want to support the channel even further. And another way you can support the channel is by simply going to pascalmerch.com. We do have a sale going on here very, very soon. And I cannot wait to let you guys know about all that. When it does drop, when that does go down, I will let you guys know about that for sure. Okay? So make sure you go over to pascalmerch.com. Check that stuff out. We still have the holiday stuff, those graphic tees, prints, sweatshirts, hoodies, all those things still readily available before it gets too close for the holidays to end. You know what I mean? It gets a little too close for it to get to you guys in time. So make sure you check out pascalmerch.com right now. Also, I got that GoFundMe. I'm putting together a holiday special. If you can contribute, that would be amazing. A little goes a long way. It is pinned now to the top of the chat. So go check that out. That would be amazing. All right. Please and thank you. All right, guys. It's time to get into, we had to get all of that mess out of the situation, out of the way. This is how we keep the lights on. This is how we keep the microphone on and the conversation popping on this show. So if you can support, that would be amazing. No pressure if you can't. It is all good. But nonetheless, we are here to talk about a new update. There's been some new stuff. And of course, it's not a huge surprise because we knew that there was going to be some stuff going on. But what's really interesting about this one is that these are three completely different mans that have filed not with Tony Buzbee. That's a very big deal. Just so you know, we knew that we were going to be seeing a litany of lawsuits coming from Tony Buzbee out in Houston, Texas. Yee yeet yeehaw, right? Isn't that how you do it? I don't know. But anyway, these three new mans, okay? These men, these new accusers, all three of them happen to be men, are filing with a different lawyer. So this, to me, in my personal opinion, is a very, very big, shocking piece of information. These three are coming out of nowhere, in my personal opinion. We knew that we were expecting over 120 lawsuits from Tony Buzbee. These three just came out of the clear blue sky, to be completely honest. So take a look at this. Three new men have now officially sued Sean Diddy Combs, the diddler. Yes. Now, of course, they're saying that he did basically the same thing. We already know the breakdown. Okay, we already know the play-by-play in a way. But we gonna talk about this, and we got a couple articles. Then, of course, I will say this too. Excuse me. We do have an interview. Now, I showed this on my secondary channel yesterday, but I was planning on sharing it with you guys on this channel too, so we could talk about it as a family. All right. But there is a John Doe that has spoken out, that has stepped forward. Diddy Accuser has stepped out talking about what they experienced. The heartbreaking, the mind-blowing, disgusting behavior that Diddy is being accused of doing to this security guard. He was a bodyguard at a Diddy white party. And then he tells his story about how he was attacked in a SUV, like a limousine SUV type of thing, which is absolutely heartbreaking and insane. And of course, there's some other things that we are going to talk about as well, because there's some other information from Tony Buzbee that is very shocking. And I want to share and present that with you guys on the show, because he's saying coming down the pipe for Diddy is a lot more than we expect. Yeah. We're going to talk about that here in a second. So let's get into this article, okay? I appreciate all y'all for being here. Again, real quick, do not forget, hit that like button down below, crush that subscribe button, hit that follow button if you're watching on other platforms. That'd be greatly appreciated. I'm just here to give you guys the news and the information that's going on here. And this is crazy, okay? Crazy, crazy stuff. And yes, I do know about the Larry Johnson interview. We are going to be talking about that on another show, because that has to do with Jay-Z. This one has to do with Diddy. Don't worry, we will be talking about the interview that he had on Jason Whitlock's show. We will be watching that. We will be talking about that. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of information about Jay-Z and his situation that needs to have its own show. So that will happen today. Today is a Jay-Z and Diddy day, okay? Just so you know. Unless there's new developing information about Luigi, okay? Now, anytime I say Luigi, I just think of that soundbite. But anyway, telling you right now, there's a lot that's going on. And Jay-Z had an interview, not that I know of. If he had an interview, that'd be very ballsy of him. But I wouldn't, but actually, it'd be ballsy of him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did have an interview very, very soon. I can see him doing that because he's so enraged and so angry about these allegations that, you know, the statement that he put out as soon as his name was thrown out there for the world to see is very telling. I could see him doing an interview with like Gail or something like that, you know? Cheer. You know? I could see him doing something like that. I can see it. But not doing what R. Kelly did. Well, actually, I will say that. Don't Jay-Z. Don't do, if you do an interview with Gail, don't do the, y'all are killing me out here. You don't want to do that. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Learn from your boy, your old friend's mistake. All right? Learn from them. What is it? Wise men. What is it? Smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. So be the wise man, okay? Don't do the, y'all killing me out here. You don't want to do that because as soon as you do that, oh, he did that. It's a wrap after that. If you're losing your mind on camera, you don't, So learn from your friend's mistakes and be the wise man. Showing up with meh, if you get what I'm saying, because the three wise men, the star, they saw Jesus Christ, and one of them showed up with myrrh. Wasn't it myrrh? Something like that. No, nobody knows the story of Bethlehem and the birth of our Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Okay, this is not a Bible study class. Time out. All right. So, away in a manger, no crib for a bed. Somebody knows that song out there. So one of y'all do, okay? But let's move on, okay? But anyway, JC, don't do those interviews. Don't you dare. Stay quiet. Let your lawyers do their esquiring, all right? Let them do that job. Step back. Do the right thing, all right? Don't do these interviews and lose your damn and lose your mind. Just don't do it. But moving on, back to Diddy. Like I said, this is going to be a Diddy and Jay-Z day, just so you know, because there's so much going on in the Jay-Z corner. We are going to be talking about that for sure. So let's get into this article here. So three men are accusing Diddy of R and SA. Of course, the same thing, that they plied them with substances, that they were tainted drinks. And then, of course, he attacked them while they were under the influence. All right? So some very, very bad things. So Sean Diddy Combs was accused today, of R and SA by three different men in separate filed lawsuits alleging the rap impresario plied them with doctored drinks. They're getting crafty with these words now instead of just saying the same doggone thing, because a lot of it is the same MO. Okay, plied them with drinks, then attacked them while they were under the influence. So the civil lawsuits filed anonymously in New York State Supreme Court by lawyer Thomas Gieffra. I don't know how to pronounce that. Pardon if I'm destroying your name. Probably am. Involved incidents that happened between 2019 and 2022. So not very long ago, my ladies and germs. Not very long ago were these attacks. This is not in early 2000 or in the aughts or anything of that sort. This happened very recently. Pre-lockdown and after lockdown. Pretty interesting, right? Moving on, all allege that Combs R and SA'd them. One man alleged Combs' associates threatened him into keeping quiet. Sounds familiar. Another alleged his attack was filmed and he was giving cash after the attack. The third man alleged Combs and his associates from Bad Boy Records took turns SAing him. Now, I will say this. I do not have the paperwork. This is very, very brand new. This just came out. I have been scouring the earth trying to find these lawsuits. I'm sure they'll be out before the end of day for the public to see, but I have yet to see those as of yet, okay? But just so you know, when we get it, we will go through it as a fam. But what they're reporting, and of course, you know for a fact, the documents say a lot more than just what this reporter is reporting. And it frustrates the hell out of me. I'm going to be real. It's like, just say it all then. Just take all of it. Do the, copy and paste the information. Because we all want to know the details. We all want to know the true details of what actually happened, not just a summary. Unfortunately, give us the real breakdown of what these particular men endured. Real talk. What did they go through? But one was threatened to keep quiet. Another one was filmed. This crime was filmed. This is what this John Doe is alleging. And then the third John Doe is saying that it was not only just Diddy, but it was other men that took turns attacking him as well. Just a quick recap. The way Combs went after these men was very, quote unquote, very consistent, frighteningly consistent, exactly consistent. This is what that lawyer said and told NBC News, the article I'm reading right here. He would actually attack them, strike them with drinks. He would hit them with drinks, knock them out. And when they woke up, he'd be attacking them. He'd be R-ing them. The new complaints are the latest in the wave of lawsuits filed against Combs in recent months, all filed with complaints withholding their names. They're hiding behind a pseudonym, accusing Combs of A and R under similar circumstances with allegations going back to the 1990s. Combs has been behind bars, which we already know. Okay, he's been arrested, and of course, he's being accused of certain things, racketeering and then some. And of course, SA and attacking men and women. Let's not forget. Prosecutors said Combs, among other things, allegedly used his business empire to coerce victims into elaborate substance-filled freak-offs with male S-workers that he arranged, directed, and recorded. Combs, 55, is currently being detained, which we already know about that as well. Let's move on. His lawyers have said he is innocent of all charges. He's been denied bail 3 times, which we already know about that too. The 3 men represented by this particular lawyer, New York lawyer, not Tony Buzbee, by the way, which, by the way, I'm sure a lot of y'all will find a little bit refreshing. Let's be completely real. Because some of y'all are still looking at Tony Buzbee sideways. And some of y'all are like, nah, he's exactly what Jay-Z said. Yeah, he's just an ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. Well, the Tony Buzbee's kind of a powerhouse. He's actually pretty damn good at what he does. For someone that good at what he does, I don't think he needs to be chasing ambulances, and he definitely ain't chasing ambulances in a cheap ass suit. Let's keep it a bean. But now that we have 3 new lawsuits by a completely different lawyer, I'm sure a lot of us are going, okay, it's a bit refreshing. I think it is too. I think it is a bit refreshing to hear it from somebody else, from another lawyer that's stepping forward and going, no, I got 3 men in New York who believe that are accusing Diddy of doing said crimes to them as well. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be more like this. Not everybody's going to go to Buzbee. Not everybody's going to go to Buzbee. You want to know why I believe that a lot of people aren't going to be going to Buzbee? Or we're going to see possible lawsuits kind of like this from other lawyers from all over if not all over the country, from New York or from wherever. You want to know why? I believe that clients potential accusers, victims, however you want to call them, are going to want to know that they are being taken care of. They're going to want to know that they feel like they are number one on that list of attention from that client or from that lawyer, if you see what I'm saying. You got to remember, Tony Buzbee is getting he's got 120 different victims that are trying to file through Buzbee right now as we speak. Do you think he could properly give his undivided attention to all 120 of them 24/7 every single day? I'm telling you right now, no. I could see some of these particular clients of Tony Buzbee leaving Buzbee, not because he's a bad lawyer, not because they don't think that he can't handle their case. No, I think they're going to be like, no, I want to feel like I am number one. I want to feel like you're hearing everything I have to say. That's a lot of lawsuits, y'all. That's a lot of paperwork. Yeah, Kirk. Oh, whoops. Kirk, you ain't wrong. Buzbee is booked for life. He booked for life, though. It's a wrap for him because a lot of his stuff is going to be handled not only just by him, but a lot of people in his law firm. And some of these people are going to feel like, hey, no. Wait a second, bro. I want you. I don't want Trevor over here. I didn't ask for Trev. I asked for you, Mr. Buzbee. So are you going to play point for me? Or am I going to be just sitting on the sidelines as you're running point for all these other people? This is not a diss at Tony Buzbee. I'm just saying there's going to be people that may walk away from Tony Buzbee and try to find other legal representation because, again, the man can only do so much, y'all. The man can only do so much. And they might be like, no, I want to work with you, not Trevor. I don't want to work with Kim. It's not her name on the firm's on the side of the building. I want to work with you, Tony. So why are you throwing her over to Kim and them? I don't want that. So I can see some people going, nah, I'm good. I'm going to find another lawyer. And that's possible. That's possible. That's not a dig at Tony Buzbee. It's just the reality of it. So that's why I'm saying, boom, 3 new men that step forward. This is not coming from Tony Buzbee. You don't think that there's other lawyers? Let's not forget. Remember Ariel Mitchell Kidd? She has clients. She has other accusers and victims that she's working with that that haven't even been filed yet. And wait, those will be coming. She's not only just representing the one woman that was viciously gang-ard out of retaliation because of what she said to Diddy on a FaceTime call about his connection to Tupac's unaliving. She has other clients that she's working with, by the way. Let's keep that real. So we're going to hear a bunch, okay? We're going to see a bunch of people and a bunch of other lawsuits coming from a litany of other law firms, for sure. So this is just the start of it all. And these 3 men may not even called. Oh, yeah, Gloria Allred as well. Let's not forget that, Pterodax. You're absolutely right. Let's not forget that too. All right. But you got to remember, there's going to be a lot of people. Like, I bet you those 3 men did not call the hotline to talk to Tony Buzbee. I'm sure that they called this lawyer themselves in some sort of way. But I'm telling you right now, there's going to be more. All right. There will be a lot more. So moving back into this, 3 men represented by this particular lawyer. Okay. Gifra, I guess it's Gifra, are all seeking unspecified damages from Combs and his companies along with a jury trial. So yeah, they still want a jury trial, and they're going after him for the monies. All right. So they're also not divulging their real names, which again, well, let's just hear his quote. This is the lawyer representing these three men. They're afraid that one night somebody affiliated with him, hired by him, could end their life. Do you blame them? Do you blame them? Especially after everything we've been hearing about Diddy, like jumping through hoops, even behind bars, doing everything he can to try to reach out to victims and witnesses. Yeah, I'd be scared too. Especially a man with all this power. No one man should have all that power, right? But now, of course, they don't want to divulge their real names. A lot of these people are scared because they know what this man, or at least they've gotten a taste of knowing what this man is capable of doing. So you think that they're just going to be like, yeah, my name is John Smith and this is Michael Mahina. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're trying to save their own butts and protect their own butts. I don't blame them. And I didn't mean, Kim as like Kim Kardashian or little Kim or anything like. I was just using Trevor and Kim as names, not taking any attack on any Trevors or any Kims. Okay, guys, just so you know. Does that mean something? Does Pascal mean something deeper? Is something else going on? What does he have to say? Is he taking a dig at a Trevor and a Kim? No, nobody. It's just names that just popped in my head. Okay. Just so y'all know. But in addition to Combs' 3 lawsuits list as defendants, all right, Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings, Inc., Bad Boy Entertainment, LLC, Bad Boy Productions Holdings, Inc., Daddy's House Recordings, Inc., and Sony Music Holdings, Inc., which I feel like those will get dropped at some point. I truly believe that. I think at some point those other entities that are filed as defendants or co-defendants, these entities, I think they're all going to get dropped eventually, and they're going to be like, all right. We just want to go after this particular person, right? We just want to go after Diddy, not his entities. He makes enough money. These are civil lawsuits. Let's just go, right? So moving on. These complaints are full of lies. We will prove them false and seek sanctions against every unethical lawyer who filed fictional claims against him. This is what Combs' legal team said in a statement this morning. So now they're going to seek sanctions against any lawyer that has filed what they believe are fictional claims against the diddler. Oh, this is insane. That's insane. And again, it'd be nice to see how they're going to be able to do that. Unless those people come out and say, yes, these lawsuits are fake, we lied, so on and so forth. Lo siento are bad. How can they try to take down the lawyer that's involved in the situation? You got to remember, you got a client that's walking into a room and telling them, yes, this guy did this thing, giving them, I'm sure, graphic, detailed information. And then, of course, it's up to the lawyer to look at it and go, okay, I can believe this. I do believe this actually happened to you. And I'm going to do everything I can to help you get justice, the justice that you feel is rightfully deserved. Let's talk about it. Now, does that mean that this is something that the lawyer is in the wrong of doing? His job is to present victims and clients, his client. So I could see him this lawyer going through that stuff and then making a decision on what he wants to do. Okay, this seems there's enough information, there's enough evidence here that is potentially very damning for Diddy. So yeah, maybe I will take this, or maybe I won't. But it is interesting that he's saying, okay, we're going to seek sanctions. We're going to try to take out these lawyers. I don't know. That I feel like that's a question we present to one of our lawyer friends, because that is it's a very gray area if you really think about it. Because again, let's talk about this really quick before we move on. Let's not forget, a lawyer has a choice whether or not they want to actually represent a particular victim. But they have to actually believe in the client's story. They have to believe in the client's claims. If they were to just go, yeah, we're just going to get a bunch of money from Diddy, and I'm going to get a percentage of that. You going to make your money, but then I'm going to make my money too. Let's just go after him. But you think that your client is lying through their teeth, then that is not an ethical lawyer. Absolutely not. And that lawyer, in my personal opinion, shouldn't even be working as a lawyer. They should be disbarred, in my personal opinion. But that's a risk that every single lawyer has to take. They're there, they're paid. Most of the time they're paid to represent that client tooth and nail. I believe my client is innocent, so on and so forth. We just saw with what happened to Luigi. We saw what happened with Luigi's lawyer. He's like, they don't have any proof. Where's the proof, baby? Right? He said all that stuff. He's like, I've only been in this. It's like he just woke up from a very heavy nap, right? He's like, I just got into this case 12 hours ago, and now I'm on CNN. But I'm going to say there's no proof, baby. And it's like, wait a second. I get it that you need to protect. You need to protect your client. But are you sure? Are you sure you know everything as of yet? Because you might be speaking out of turn. There's no proof. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to when you walk into a room and there's a potential client, and that client is basically saying, yes, Diddy did these things to me, there's got to be something there that is enough for them to go, okay, I believe this client. I believe this particular person, and I'm going to make them my client because this is what they say. This is what they're giving us, right? So again, it is something that I would love to bring a lawyer on to talk about, because it's like, what about the 120 plus people that Tony Buzbee is representing right now? And not all of them, we have not seen all of them yet. All of the paperwork. We haven't seen all 120 lawsuits. I'm sure some of them are dropping because there's no proof, or they were just straight up lying through their teeth. That's a possibility too. But I'm wondering what makes a lawyer suddenly go, that's enough proof for me. Let's sue this mother lover's ass. That's something I'm interested in. And then, of course, can it really be damaging? Professionally, not just reputation, professionally, for that particular lawyer who happens to be representing somebody who ends up actually lying. That is something I am actually curious about. Hopefully we get somebody on the show to talk about that in the very near future. It's just tough to get lawyers on at the last minute, especially when there's breaking news stuff. I'm trying to get my friends on the show. It's just been really tough. A lot of people have been busy, and, I come on sporadically like this. You know what I'm saying? So we'll get it. We'll get it answered at some point here very, very soon. But let's move on here. All right. So they say it's a whole bunch of lies. They want to seek sanctions against these lawyers and all that stuff. So all complainants are identified in the new lawsuits as John Doe. They all allege the A happened under similar circumstances, with Combs allegedly preying on the men by luring them with the help of his associates to hotel rooms or his private home, plying them with substances, in these drinks, and then S-ing and R-ing them. So some more details here. One, John Doe was a longtime employee of Combs. He said in his lawsuit, so he knew Diddy for a while, longtime employee of Combs. So he said in his lawsuit that he was hired in 2006 by Combs in his capacity as CEO of Bad Boy Records to run errands for him. So it was like an assistant, an errand boy, something like that, right? He said that in February of 2020, one of Combs' assistants arranged a private meeting with Combs at his Manhattan hotel to discuss, quote unquote, missing job payments. And when he arrived, Combs served him a quote unquote alcoholic drink that made him excessively tired. Combs suggested he, quote unquote, lay down on the couch and take a nap, the man said, according to this lawsuit. The man awoke to find Combs on top of him, on the couch. And this is what they're saying, attacking him. Afterward, the man said in the lawsuit that Combs and his associates threatened him to keep quiet. Another complainant said he met Combs at a Manhattan nightclub in 2019 and was, quote unquote, recruited by Diddy's security guards to join him. So he was at a club doing his thing, enjoying his time in 2019. Security guards came up to him, asking him to join him and the rest of his entourage at the Park Hyatt Hotel for an exclusive after party. There, he said in the lawsuit that Diddy offered him a cocktail, quote unquote, cocktail that he had personally made and then invited him and the other guests into a bedroom. Once plaintiff entered the bedroom, the room started spinning and his mouth became very dry, the man said, according to these court papers. Diddy eventually led him to a sofa where he lost consciousness and later awoke, finding Diddy doing the same doggone thing to him, attacking him, according to this lawsuit. The man said in the lawsuit, he tried to resist, and before he blacked out, he remembered seeing a man and a woman sitting on the bed recording this R on camera. Now, I want to know who this man and who this woman be. That's what I'd like to know, too. The next morning, he was given $2,500 by the man who filmed the alleged R and said it was from Diddy, according to this lawsuit. So he was at a club. He was doing his thing, minding his own doggone business, having a great time, having a Coke and a smile. Then suddenly someone from security walked over to him and said, yeah, Diddy wants to see you over. He wants you to kick it with him. You know what I mean? You're more than welcome to go over there. And then we got a little thing going on. He got a little after party going on at his spot later on when we leave the club. He went with them. He was given a drink by Diddy. Diddy, of course, sprinkled a little some sort of dust in that mug. He drank it. It knocked him out. When he came to, he woke up to Diddy diddling about whilst there is a man and woman sitting on a couch filming and watching this whole thing go down. Then he wakes up. He's given $2,500 by the man who actually filmed this crime and said it was from Diddy himself. I wonder if they actually have that video still. I am very curious. All right. And before we go into this third lawsuit, let me get this really quick. Carbonize, thank you so much for the love all the way from Canada. How's the maple syrup? Huh? Moving on. Don't Canadians consume a lot of maple syrup? I'm kidding. Moving on, though. Is your front door still open? You might want to lock it. But Carbonize, thank you so much for the love, okay? Legends tells of a Christmas curse. If you don't hit that like button, you will not jingle all the way. Coal will show up in strange places. Your Christmas plums turn into raisins. Woo! That is heavy. Oh, my damn. That is heavy. Okay, Carbonize. But yes, you don't want your plums turning into raisins. You don't want them plums turning into raisins. You want them supple and juicy. So hit that like button, dagnabbit. Okay, please and thank you. Let's see where we're at with the likes real quick. All right. Oh my God. Come on. Let's get into 1K, baby. Let's get into 1K. Okay? Just like she said, you don't want that to happen. You don't want your plums all dry and raisiny. You don't want that, babies. So hit that like button down below. Send it to 1K. Okay? 1K, okay? Please and thank you. Caprice, thank you so much. Did you see my side-by-side pic of the guys? Oh, yes, I did get that. I got to check that out. I'll pull that up. I totally forgot about it. Like I said, the news been newsing like crazy over the last 24, 48 hours. And there's a lot of stuff that I am working on right now. It has been crazy. So, just be patient with me. There's a lot of things I'm still trying to play catch up on. Okay. So hit that 1K. Let's get to 1K. One like don't cost a thing. A like don't cost a thing. That's what I meant. All right. So let's continue on. Let us continue on. In the third lawsuit, a man alleged that he, quote unquote, fell victim to one or more criminal acts at the hands of Diddy. One or more acts. Between 2020, at the hands of Diddy and his associates between 2020 and 2022. This is interesting. He said in the summer of 2020, he was invited by one of Diddy's associates at Bad Boy Records to a party at his mansion in East Hampton, New York. At the party, he said in the lawsuit that he, quote unquote, began feeling ill and subsequently lost consciousness after having a drink. Throughout the rest of the night, plaintiff faded in and out of consciousness. The man said in the lawsuit, Combs and his associates from Bad Boy Records took turns S-ing and R-ing him. Combs' legal issues have been mounted since last year when we already know about Cassie. He, of course, has denied all these allegations. Multiple other lawsuits have been filed against Diddy since then, including one from Dawn Richard, a former member of the girl group Danity Kane, and Dirty Money. Let's not forget that too, but that's not a girl group. Moving on, she alleged Combs, put his hands on her, attacked her, and imprisoned her, and threatened her life as well. He, of course, is denying all these claims, calling them sickening allegations from people looking for a quick payday. Now, what say you guys? When you see this information, you got 3 new men that are not represented by Tony Buzbee at all. These are filings from New York, filed to these are civil lawsuits filed anonymously in the New York State Supreme Court. 3 new brand new civil lawsuits from a completely different lawyer that are now being presented to the New York State's Supreme Court. To me, that is a very, very big deal. Also, it is not Buzbee. This is brand new. This is a completely different law firm that's representing these 3 individual male victims. Of course, we don't have the lawsuits ourselves, but I do, because I'm sure they'll be out within the next couple days or next couple hours or whatever. But I do think that this is something massive. And it also gives us a foreshadowing of what's to come here, because there's some serious foreshadowing here. This says that there's to me, this represents the new wave of other lawsuits that are going to be coming from other lawyers and other law firms. That's what it says to me. And that just because Tony Buzbee has 120 lawsuits on his docket in his corner does not mean that there aren't a litany, a crap ton of other victims that are seeking representation elsewhere. It says a lot to me. This says a lot. Now, speaking of which, before we go into this John Doe, speaking out for the first time and all that, which by the way is massive. This John Doe and speaking on CNN is massive. I do have another piece of information that I think would definitely tickle all y'all's fancies. And this is from Tony Buzbee. And this has nothing to do with Jay-Z, because I know right now Jay-Z and Tony Buzbee are basically going toe-to-toe right now. They are going through legal fisticuffs. It is one document after another, and it's blow by blow, and it's been absolutely crazy. You can't write this stuff. It's fascinating. And I will say this, with all the stuff that's been going on with Diddy, which has been back and forth, a lot of legal stuff. And then on top of that, everything that we've been seeing with Jay-Z now too. Man, if you are not into law or into the legalese of things, this is a great way to understand how things move and what motions, what certain motions mean what, and so on and so forth. This is like law 101, but put on a super fast highway. Okay, it's been really, really wild. Okay, so we got more. We're going to be talking about a lot more here, but and there's a lot that's going on. But I do want to share with you guys this, and this is something I was going to share this last night, but like I said, I was busy. There's a lot going on, y'all, and I'll explain all of it very, very soon. I promise it'll all make sense very, very soon. But I still want to share this with you guys as well. What I just said a second ago. Tony Buzbee is representing a lot of people. He is representing a gang load of people. Let's not forget, there is a lot of phone calls that have been made even after his mind-blowing press conference that he had right around the time that Diddy got arrested. Remember, he said, we have a hotline. People are calling. We have gotten thousands upon thousands of phone calls, and we are sifting through all of them to make sure that whatever they're saying is actually true. We are trying to make sure that they are properly vetted, so on and so forth. Okay. It has been absolutely insane. And the allegations that are being set out here, just keep on stacking up. And again, he is only one law firm. I'm not sitting here saying go away and don't use Tony Buzbee as representation, but I do, and I can understand if people want to step away and try to find their own legal representation somewhere else because of the amount of people that he is representing right now. And I'm telling you that Tony Buzbee has now given a heads up of what actually is about to go down. And like I said, not Tony Buzbee, but Diddy is going to be in and out of it. Okay, if he is exonerated of these federal charges, which I really highly doubt he will, no matter what, he's going to be in and out of a courtroom for the rest of his remaining life. That's what I truly believe because of the new information that has just dropped yesterday, and I'm sharing it to you guys right now. Tony Buzbee is saying that he could be facing up to 300 legal cases with an equal amount of men's and women's. Yeah. So it's not just 120, baby. It's 300. This is Sparta. 300. 300. I gotta hit the number again. Hit that button again. Woo! Hamburger. 300. Yeah, Christina, I feel your pain. Like, I don't know if I should be laughing or crying right now. Yeah, I don't. Both at the same time. It's a laugh cry. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. This is insane. 300. 300. Let's look at it. But if you really think about it, if thousands and thousands of people are calling nonstop onto a hotline that has turned into a Diddy hotline. Yes, this is still surprising, but this is still very shocking all at the same time. You got 3,000 plus people or more calling into the hotline. You don't think that the number is going to go up just a little bit? I mean, this is a lot of bit. 300. And if it's all being represented by Tony Buzbee's law firm, you really think he's going to be able to handle all 300 by himself? Come on. Come on, y'all. Like I said, 300 lawsuits, that's a lot. Some of them, I'm sure, will be settled outside of court. I'm sure. Some of them will be thrown out and dismissed because it's boo-ish. Sure. But a lot of them are going to fly through. 300 lawsuits. Let's get into this. Unbelievable. So the number of people filing civil legal cases, against Sean Diddy Combs is likely to be in the quote unquote 300 range, according to a lawyer representing multiple alleged victims. Tony Buzbee told the BBC on Wednesday, December 11th, yesterday, that he estimates his team has received around 3,000 calls since he urged potential victims to come forward via social media and a press conference on October 1st. We all saw that press conference. We watched it here. He added that people have been phoning up every single day, the outlet reported. I think that the potential number of cases is probably in the 300 range, but I think realistically, it'll ultimately be about 100 to 150, he told BBC. Yeah, because like I said, some things are going to be bull. Some things are going to be absolutely true. And some things may not even see the inside of a courtroom. That'll be settled outside of court and all that stuff. Okay. About an equal number of men and women, so 150 and 150, have come forward to accuse him, Diddy, of misconduct, with the accusation spanning over a 20-year period. This is what the BBC reported, citing Buzbee. Buzbee has filed over 20 lawsuits to so far from men and women seeking damages from Diddy, according to the publication. Responding to his claims, Buzbee's claims that there could be 300 legal cases involving Combs, Diddy's team said that the attorney's barrage of lawsuits against Mr. Combs are shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them, just as lies have been spread about Mr. Combs. As his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth shall prevail that Mr. Combs has never essayed or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. This is what they have said a million times before. I feel like that's the rubber stamp response right here. This is their rubber stamp response. Every time there's a new lawsuit that comes out, they just go like, take the thing and go back. That's our response, guys. Copy and paste, y'all. Just copy and paste. We don't need to tailor the response for every single lawsuit. It's all BS. Okay. As Lorna says, it's all rubbish. It's all rubbish. Use the stamp. It's all rubbish. Okay. So moving on, Diddy's legal team said in an October 14th statement, the press conference and 1-800 number that preceded today's barrage of filings were clear attempts to garner publicity. Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts, their legal defenses, and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth shall prevail. Isn't that interesting? Rubber stamp response. I'm repeating the same doggone thing I just highlighted up here. Did I not? Absolute rubbish. Rubbish, love. Absolute rubbish. Okay, here's another one. They keep saying it over and over again. Look at this. Oh, my God. Okay, but anyway. Combs' attorneys previously said in a statement following the first wave of complaints filed by Buzbee's clients that the mogul cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus, and that he, quote unquote, emphatically denies S-ing anyone. And you got to remember, their whole argument and their whole angle, their whole approach right now is that they're going to be like, yo, this whole thing was consensual. Every person that came into his parties and were a part of these freak-offs, I haven't said that word in a long time, freak-off, that have been a part of these freak-offs, all of them were consensual. Really? Are you sure about that? Are you absolutely sure all of this? That every single person that was at your parties over decades of parties, full of debauchery and God knows what, all of them were consensual? Are you sure about that? You 100% about that? Like I said, I got questions. Especially if you're plying people with drinks and you're plying them with stuff that they don't know that's, that they're drinking. Is it consensual anymore? And of course, these are all allegations. These are all just alleged, but are we sure about that? But this goes to show to you the potential bigger tidal wave of things that Diddy could be facing. And again, we got to remember, not all of them are going to be real. Some of them are going to be absolute bullish. Some of them are just going to be straight lies. But not all of them. This man was having these kind of parties a lot. And he was doing decades. He was doing this for decades, these parties. So this is not like a situation where he was just top of the world only for 5 years. This is decades long of him being the top of the game, being the mogul that he is, the name that he is, hobgoblin with huge names, rubbing elbows with princes and politicians and stuff like that. Royalty, for crying out loud. This is not a situation where he was just hot for 5 seconds. We all have one song that we still have on rotation right now by him, or was influenced by Diddy, that we're playing. And as soon as we hear, you're like, oh, damn, I forgot that's him too. Damn. And I liked his ish. I'm serious. It's unbelievable, guys. But I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised. Because even so, when they're like, yeah, we have 120. I'm like, really? You said 3,000 people called you and you sift through all 3,000 already and came to the conclusion that only 120 of them are going to go through? Really? There's going to be more coming. I even said that during that press conference. I remember that vividly. I'm like, who's to say that more will be added on? That'll be more than 120. And now he's saying he could very well face 300 of them. 300. Something to chew on, y'all. I just wanted to share that with y'all because that is definitely something to chew on, for sure. 1 second, guys, because my computer be tripping sometimes. Okay. Oh, yeah.
You were hired by a security firm.
One other thing.
To work security.
Come on, shush. Shut your mouth. All right. So there's another thing, all right? There has been a John Doe that has spoken, that is breaking their silence, that I think is, it's very intriguing, because you got somebody who's saying, yeah, I was an employee of Diddy, and then I was viciously attacked. I was given a drink. I was thrown into this limousine or this SUV, and then I was viciously attacked. It's absolutely terrifying. It's crazy to think that even security isn't even safe. Can you imagine that? Even security ain't even safe at a Diddy white party or even a Diddy after party, allegedly. That's some scary stuff if you really think about it. But now we do have a John Doe that has been stepping forward. They have broken their silence, speaking for the first time. In fact, this is the first ever John Doe to ever speak out on behalf of Diddy. Madness. We got to take a look at this. So we're going to be breaking this down. So let's take a look at this, shall we? And if you can't see it over here, guys, you're not going to be able to see it or hear it. If you're watching on the TikTok, hop over to my YouTube channel. Just a fair warning, because I know some of y'all going to be like, I can't hear it. You're not going to be able to hear it over here. Okay. But it's a short video. I'll explain everything in just a minute. Okay. Or go over to my YouTube channel and check it out over there. Fair warning. You've been warned. Blessings. Let's move on.
Lawsuit, you were hired by a security firm to work security at one of the infamous white parties that was thrown by Sean Combs in the Hamptons. What was that experience like?
At first, he was incredibly friendly, very gracious.
So you had a friendly chat, and then, according to your lawsuit, at some point later in the night, Sean Combs himself offered you a drink. This didn't come from staff or someone holding a tray of drinks. It came from him directly.
Correct.
Okay. Again, same breakdown, same MO. Only difference is this is an employee or a security guard that actually got paid to be there, paid to watch over everybody else. And he's handed a drink. In the first place, why would you give? I'm going to be real. Why would you give any security guard who's supposed to be the most even, balanced minded person, the soberest person in the room, a drink in the first doggone place? I don't care if you like him. I don't care if he's a great dude. I don't care if you just love his vibe. You don't give a security guard who's supposed to be there guarding you and keeping everybody else safe in there an alcoholic drink. You just don't do that. So it's very weird to me that this guy was given a drink in the first doggone place. He's on duty. Like these cops you hear like, you want to have a drink? Nope, sir. No, sir. I'm on duty, sir. But thank you, sir. You usually hear that stuff, right? But nope, that's not the case here. We got a guy with a heavy New York accent, by the way, saying that he was given a drink, he took some sips of it, and then suddenly he was like, boo, gone, right?
First drink started to have some effect on me, and I just thought, wow, these are really strong drinks. It wasn't until the second drink, and it was already too late, that I realized that there was something wrong with the drinks. Sadly, Sean Combs was waiting in the wings. He was watching from some sort of vantage point. And once I was in a helpless position and he was sure that he was in a position of power, then he took advantage of the situation.
You allege that you were forcibly pushed into an SUV by Sean Combs. That act alone, according to your lawsuit, left you in considerable pain. And then once inside the vehicle, your lawsuit says plaintiff was held down by Combs, who overpowered him while he struggled to escape due to the effects of the drugs in his system. And it goes on to say that he sought him.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop. It was incredibly painful. And he was acting like it was nothing. Again,
another breakdown of something that we've heard before. Same breakdown. It's just interesting. Every person, every victim has basically said the same doggone thing, that it sounds like he has an MO. They're given a drink. They feel a little woozy. he apparently, as this particular John Doe is saying, he was lurking in the background, just kind of hovering around, just waiting for the liquor or the drink to this tainted drink to have an effect on this particular individual, on this John Doe. Then this John Doe is thrown into a SUV where he is viciously attacked by Diddy. And then apparently Diddy, acting like Diddy didn't even give a damn. Like just kind of emotionless and just going through the motions type thing. And of course, he says he was begging him to stop, screaming him to stop, and all that stuff. And then what happened? He didn't stop. He continued doing what he did. And of course, these are allegations from this John Doe, but still unbelievable details that are just being dropped, from this John Doe. And again, this John Doe is not revealing his face or his voice. To me, that's very telling too. It's a scared individual. And I don't blame him. I do not.
And he seemed to be disconnected from it. It was abusive beyond belief.
And of course, it says here, representatives for Combs did not comment, but at the time of the original complaint, released a blanket statement regarding the complaint, and others filed at the same time. And we already know about all this. We've read this 15,000 times before. But it says Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts, their legal defenses, and the integrity of the judicial process. Let's continue on. I think there's another part here again. Yep, here. In court, we've heard this a million times before. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs has never essayed anyone, adult or minor, man or woman. This is what he's the blanketed rubber stamp response, like we've heard a million times before. We've heard it a million times before. Okay, this is not new news for us. But again, very interesting. And I'm wondering if there's more to this interview, or is it just this? There's got to be more to this. I am quite curious. Let's see what they say.
As Elizabeth Wagmeister, who's doing really amazing reporting on this subject, is here with your exclusive. What was it like to sit down with this man?
John, this was the first time that he has told anyone other than his attorneys this story. As you see, we concealed his identity. He filed his lawsuit back in October as a John Doe. He says that he wants to keep his anonymity because he wants to keep some semblance of his life private. But that's a difficult thing to do, to sit down and tell your story to a stranger as a journalist. So I asked him, why now? Why are you coming forward now?
Yeah, I'd also want to know why now. And I feel like that's a lot of the question that all of us are asking for all of these John and Jane Does, and the ones that have come out with their names, right? That have come public, not hiding behind a pseudonym. I have that question too. With all due respect, it is that question of why? Why right now? Why did you decide to do it right now? Why not sue, a little while ago or something like that? So let's see what she says here.
And he said that he did not know that there were other accusers of Sean Combs out there. He only found out from seeing news reports. And there was one report he saw that there is somebody who alleges that they were 9 years old when they say that they were abused by Sean Combs. And this John Doe that I sat down with, he said, if a 9-year-old could do it, then I could do it. And it made him feel like he wished that he spoke out before, because he could have prevented children from allegedly being abused. Now, as I said, this lawsuit was initially filed back in October of this year. So these claims are not new, but this is the first time that he sat down. In fact, John, this is the first time that any accuser of Sean Combs has sat down with the media for an interview. Now, I want to play you a bit more.
Any accuser that has gone on to the media, it's first time. That is true. As far as the media TV, but not the internet. There have been people that are victims of Diddy that have stepped forward and have had interviews. I mean, we already know that one of them is not true. We already know that one is not telling the truth. Okay, so we already know about that. But as far as The other ones that are still talking, they are talking. And, until proven otherwise, I lean on the side of they are still victims. Let's not forget Natanya Rubin. Let's not forget Jaguar Wright. The ones that are speaking out right now that are saying things. They are saying things on the internet. Those things are definitely happening. So sure, there hasn't been an exclusive interview with some of these victims, but there are victims that have stepped forward and their names are known. They are out here. They're just not sitting down with CNN, which, okay, but they are out here. They are. But I think it's interesting that he said that if a 9-year-old is stepping forward and is brave enough to step forward and tell their story, then he should be brave enough to step forward and tell his story as well. I agree. And you also got to remember too, and I think that's very moving that he's sitting there saying, hey, there's a 9-year-old that, or at least at that time, a 9-year-old, a crime was committed against this 9-year-old. And it's emboldening me to step forward. I mean, I'm a grown man. If this 9-year-old can be strong enough, I can be too. And let's not forget, you also still have the anonymity. You still have that pseudonym that you can hide behind as well. That is a little layer, a little blanket of security, if you will. So I can see, why somebody would want to go now and speak out. I do get it that at the same time, he doesn't want everybody to know. I'm sure he might be an ex-cop, or maybe he's still in some sort of line of security of some sort. Maybe he doesn't want everybody and their mama knowing about something that happened to him. That is his business. Let's be real. That is his business. But nonetheless, whether or not his allegations are true or not, I am happy that he is, if his allegations are true, I'll say this. I am happy that he's found the strength to step forward. And yeah, that's why it's good that there is the pseudonyms, that there's the John and Jane Doe security blanket there, because someone like Diddy, someone like these other powerhouses that are eventually going to be named, I'm sure, they could try to take a lot of people down that are just trying to get their own version of justice exacted. And it's crazy. It's scary. And it's crazy. But I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just wanted to share that with you guys because, again, it's a John Doe speaking on a major network. It's no knocking, no disrespect to any podcaster, YouTubers, or anything like that. Mad love to all of them. All right. Mad love to every single last one of them. But at the same time, though, it is on a major network. And I think that's massive. I think that's absolutely massive. Are there going to be more? Are more people going to step forward? I don't know. I am kind of curious about that. And we going to see. We definitely going to see if that actually all goes down. If there's more information that gets outed here. But real quick, let me just check again. Real quick. One thing I do want to share this, and this I gotta find it. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Something because I definitely don't want to forget. Definitely don't want to forget this. Now, if this is it, this is pretty nuts. I want to remind you guys, a few days ago, we talked about apparently there were investigators reaching out not only to Tony Buzbee's former clients. Remember, Tony Buzbee came forward and said there are private investigators that are going out of their way trying to pay former clients to sue Buzbee's law firm. Why? Because the powers that be are trying to tarnish Tony Buzbee's name. They're doing everything they can to try to make Buzbee look like the bad guy. What are they going to do? They're going to do everything they can to discredit this guy. They're going to break it all down. They're going to try to destroy his reputation. They're going to try to destroy the reputation of the firm. They're going to try to go after his money. They're going to do all the things that the breakdown of how they do this with people in general. Okay. Now, the thing is that there has been some information that has been out here as of late. Remember, just a couple weeks ago, there were private investigators actually going to content creators' homes, knocking on their homes and saying, hey, guys, wanted to know if who's paying you to tell these stories about Diddy? And if they are paying you, can you be bought? Would you be willing to change the narrative for a handsome amount of money? If we paid you some money, or the company that we work for is willing to cut you a check. Now, we all saw that video where it's two private investigators outside of this particular content creator's home asking questions and basically saying, hey, we will pay you. Are you down for it? And of course, the content creator's like, no, but what kind of money? I'm kidding. No, still no, right? That's some creepy stuff, to keep it completely real. Very creepy stuff. Now, I said on the show, hey, do you not remember those guys? Are these investigators the same investigators that are calling up former clients of Tony Buzbee's, right? So now you guys sent this to me. Shout out to the fam. Okay, don't know if I can disclose name or not, so I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it kosher. Okay, keep it clean for today's show. But we just found out something that I think is really interesting, and I didn't get a chance to do anything with it, but I still want to share with you guys nonetheless. So the same guys, or at least one of the guys that is the investigator for the thing, if I'm correct, could very well be the same dude here. There's this guy right here, and here's this guy right here. And what's interesting about this, and this is not the greatest quality, all right? But what's interesting about this is right down here. I even said this too on the show. I was like, the dude is wearing Mets color, the Mets color shoes. Clearly a New Yorker, clearly from the East Coast, heavy accents. But allegedly, these are the same guys that are knocking on people's doors, that are actually calling up ex or former clients of Buzbee's. It's the same people. Now, I don't know who this guy is. This is another private investigator, because the other guy was biceps. All I saw was like biceps. It looked like his circulation was getting cut off by his shirt, because he just had these huge biceps, and he was the nice one. He was the nice cop, He played nice cop, while this guy in these yellow and blue, or yellow and purple shoes, was playing the bad cop. So allegedly the same people that were, and I even asked that, I was like, this could very well be the same dudes. This could very well be the same dudes. And now we're understanding that it is. So are they working on behalf of, now here, let me just say this too. Let me just make this abundantly clear. They have recording. Apparently they have recordings. Tony Buzbee's law firm have recordings of these investigators calling a client. In fact, let me give you guys a trip down memory lane again, because I want to make sure I show you guys receipts, so it doesn't turn into that thing like, oh, it's cap. It's all cap, man. Hold up, though. Hold up. Because he showed receipts, though. He showed them receipts. So let me show you. Hold on. I got it right here because I don't think he took it down. I would hope not. Here it is. It's top of the thing. He hasn't even changed it. He hasn't taken the damn thing down. So remember, first and foremost, let me just remind you. He says, blah, blah, blah. First off, he's like, okay, they responded or they contacted me for my response to Jay-Z's allegations that I tried to extort and blackmail him. My response is pretty straightforward. No one has made any threats from his law firm. Jay-Z's assertions are bogus and laughable. Instead, our firm has sent a standard demand letter seeking mediation on behalf of a woman who has alleged Jay-Z of SAing her as a little. The letter was vetted and approved by our client, whose preference was to attempt resolution short of filing a lawsuit. This approach is common in these types of cases. What you are seeing played out right now is a coordinated and desperate attempt or effort to focus the public's attention on me personally to avoid attention on the allegations made by my clients. Plural, by the way. He said clients. Moving on, he said, this effort has included harassing my family and colleagues and even offering former clients money to sue me, which is illegal. And we already did the whole dun, 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 right? So he says he got doggone receipts, okay? He's like, I have receipts. So he goes on and he has a transcript right here. Moving to before he presents this transcript, he says, investigators from New York have called many of our law firm's current and former clients. What they didn't anticipate was one of our clients decided to record the conversation. It's shocking and illegal. Here's a portion taken from that transcript. Here is an investigator saying everything in this alleged conversation. So this investigator said, in a couple of days, or maybe by next week, anyone Googling Buzbee and his company, his practice, are going into litigation, okay? What we're trying to do is we're trying to put this thing together for the company that we're working for. I want you to remember, they said the doggone thing, same doggone thing right over here on this one. On this TikTok, we have a company that we are working for, and they want to know who you're working for or who's paying your bills, who's lining your pockets to talk about Diddy in this type of fashion. We're just curious. Would you be willing to get paid by our company a little bit more money to talk about this other stuff? Interesting, right? So, from the company that we are working for, all right? We could get you paid. Huh? Isn't that what they said to the other guys too? We could get you paid. You could get money right soon. You know? You can get money really quick. We gave this kid $1,000 to start yesterday just to get him on the right path. So I'm wondering who that be though? Who is the kid that got paid a measly, by the way, measly $1,000 to start yesterday to get him on the right path? Who's that kid? Who's that ex-client that sat there and said, oh, where's my money? Or he bamboozled me. I was supposed to get more money and I didn't get that money. Moving on in the transcript that was recorded by a former client of Buzbee's and then it was sent to Buzbee. It says, at the end of the day, this is going to go through the courts. Buzbee is getting sued. These guys are on the tape offering to pay clients to sue our law firm. That is a crime. So these same dudes that are all up in these TikTok videos, knocking on people's homes and all that stuff, they are the same dudes. Remember, he alleges that Jay-Z is the one that is trying to destroy him and trying to reach out to former clients to try to sue him. These investigators are calling these particular people former clients, trying to coerce them, pay them into suing Tony Buzbee. So who could be the person behind these private investigators that are out here knocking on doors for content creators out here in these streets and contacting former clients of Tony Buzbee? You can do the math, guys. You can do the doggone math. And who is on their payroll? Who is paying them? Who is lining these guys' pockets? Oh, I'll tell you what. Sounds like it could be Jay-Z. That's insane. Because you got to remember, if this is entirely true, if this is accurate, what I'm saying right now, if it is accurate, that means that Jay-Z knew that something was coming for him. He'd been known. He'd been known his name was about to be on the chopping block. And he's seeing how the internet streets have been talking about Diddy. So they're out here going, wait a second. So come here. We want to know who's paying you, first off, to talk about Diddy in such a fashion. And then the second question is, can you get paid off to change your narrative? Because if you're willing to change your narrative on Diddy, then possibly you'd be willing to change your narrative on Jay-Z. So once we got you in our payroll, then we can come to you and go, hey, we'll pay you a little bit if you could just not talk. Just don't talk about Jay-Z. Don't even say his name. Do not even mention his name in any of your stuff. How about that? You down for that? Can you do that? We've already been paying you for this. So what's a little bit more money to not talk about Jay-Z? Or maybe just stand on the side of, I don't believe the hype. I believe that he's innocent. You could say that. These are all allegations right now, right? So how much? So, same investigators, are allegedly the same investigators that were out there in the streets knocking on people's, traveling, flying out to people's homes and knocking on their doors. Ain't that wild? That's some wild stuff. Again, this is just the theory. Just putting it, and I know that some people are already breaking that down and talking about it as well, but I said it first. I said it on this doggone show first. Without the photos and the screenshots, but ain't that something? And then that, honestly, that stuff can be very scary. That's scary stuff, y'all. That's scary stuff. If you really think about it, that's scary. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm still wrapping my mind around the whole thing with Jay-Z. I'm telling you, I'm still wrapping my mind around it. It is still very mind-blowing to me. Period. I am still shocked. I am still trying to wrap my mind around it. Those allegations are serious. And there's more coming. There's more allegations coming. But how things are being maneuvered out here in these streets, and if they are really connected 110% to him, optically, that is not a good look. It's a terrible look. It's terrible. You got to remember, because there's a lot of people, even myself, before all this went down, that are looking at Jay-Z as maybe a changed man. Maybe back in the day, he grew up with violence and, a life of crime, but he's not the same guy. At least that's what we That at least that's what I was believing. But then when you start hearing about this whole thing, his statement was heated. I get the heated statement, but I wish he went through a publicist, talked to somebody before that statement went out there, because it shows a different side of Jay-Z that I don't think the public needs to see right now. If he's innocent, then he needs to maneuver as an innocent man. That's what I truly believe. I get his anger. I get that. But there are ways around what he's saying or how he's feeling. There's ways around this situation that you need to proceed with caution. You need to proceed in the best way possible. That's what needs to be done. But at the same time, if you're out here acting a fool and then, angry and then still showing up, I just don't think the showing up to the red carpet event was a good move either. I don't think it was a good move on that too. I don't. That's just my opinion. I don't think that was a good move on his part. I feel like that one he could have just ducked out on. But, like I said, everything that he is alleged of doing is very, very shocking. And it's unfortunate if any of it is true. And of course, we are waiting to hear what happens, but he is kind of playing dirty. And I don't know if that's the right approach in this situation. It's only going to make him look worse. It's going to make him look like a villain, especially if he's doing illegal activities like this, and he's harassing and he's bullying and he's doing all these things to people, to a lawyer, to his law firm, to colleagues and all that stuff. That's not good. That's not the Jay-Z that I thought I knew. Personally, that doesn't seem like strong arming somebody is not the answer to this situation. This is only tarnishing his image and his reputation in the court of public opinion. That's just what I truly believe. Now, I've seen, I don't know if you guys should go check out Stephen A. Smith's response to this news. And don't get me wrong, I get it. He's like, I don't know Diddy. I don't know Diddy. But I do know Jay-Z. We friends. And he's like, I don't believe the hype. He's like, I don't believe it. But I don't know. People do crazy things when they're young. Anything's possible. These are allegations, and I feel like we will know more as time goes on. But if you're watching somebody operate in these streets in this kind of illegal way, it shows that there's potential danger. While this guy is free, that's scary. That's very scary. And I agree, Noah, if there's proof, absolutely. I think it's very important that he sits back and let it cook. But he's going to try to do everything he can to strong arm this person, either to step forward, step out and present themselves, or to run away. That's literally what he's doing right now. I don't think that's the best approach, in my personal opinion. Let me get some of these super chats real quick. Fly Gal, thank you so much. Good morning. I sent you an email. Thank you, my friend. I'll take a look at it when I get a second. Thank you so much for the love. Kimberly in Japan, what's up? Thank you so much for the love, Kimberly. Hit the like, or I will cast a spell on you. Change your Christmas cakes to rice cakes with tons of Japanese horseradish. That is terrible. Okay, and just American horseradish is terrible. What is Japanese horseradish like? Are you just talking about wasabi? Is that what you mean? But damn, no thank you. No thank you. Hit the like button down below, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. We're almost at 1K. Hit that like button. Let's get to 1K. Thank you so much, Mimi, for gifting 1 membership. And thank you so much for the super sticker. For those for that person who became a member, who just got gifted a membership. Please, as somebody give you some positivity, all I ask for you to do is pay it forward. Pay it forward. That's all I ask. It's a very, very simple ask, okay? Caprice, thank you so much. Didn't he ask his son if he had heard from Jay in the jail cell? Okay, in that alleged recording, hey, son, I need you to get rid of all the pizza boxes and the plastics. Yeah, he did say it in the recording, in the alleged recording, but you know, is it really his voice in the recording? Is it really a recording from the doggone jail that he's being holed up in? I don't know. I don't know about all that. I'm not really believing the hype on that recording. I know a lot of y'all do believe it, but I don't. Because I feel like there would be more audio leaked. Why would it only just be that one? Think about it. Why would it only be that one? That's ridiculous. Get rid of all the pizza boxes and the plastics, and then tell the producers that Netflix movie is coming out early. You feel me? Oh, Dad, what do I got to say? You know what I mean? What are we gonna do about this? Oh, no, we gonna squash all that, son. We ain't gonna say nothing. I need you to lay low, right? Real quick. All right. Like that stuff is just, I don't know. To me, feels like somebody's reading a script. It feels like AI. I know. Some of y'all believe it. I don't. I need more proof. I need more. He goes on to his thing and he speaks in code whilst saying, I need you to not say anything. I'm going to speak in code, but then after that, I'm going to tell you, don't say nothing. Shut your mouth, son. Don't say nothing at all. They're listening. They're listening to everything that you do. So don't say nothing while I speak in code about pizza boxes and get rid of all the plastics. Come on, man. Come on. It's crazy. No. You don't think MDC or anybody else is listening to that and going, the hell is pizza boxes? What are you talking about? We got to look that up. Somebody Wikipedia that or, Google that. What's pizza boxes? What are you talking about? I'm just saying. Something about it feels like, fabrication. And yes, I do agree. Hollow Knight. Yes. Diddy is most definitely cooked. It's a wrap for him. Yeah. Him done. Him done. Yeah, Chef X, I agree. CNN would have been all up on that. And have we heard any news outlets, TV news outlets out here putting out any information about that audio, that leaked audio? No. So to me, sure, the internet can sit there and, have the thing. Is it Laurel or Yanny? You know what I'm saying? Is that a gold dress or a blue dress? Fine. You can do that all day long on the internet. But if CNN isn't catching up on that and or any of News Nation, Law and Crime, Court TV, any of these places that would be all up in it, Fox News, MSNBC, all of them, none of them are talking about it, then it's fake. Then it's fake. They would have been talked about that, y'all. But more stuff is going to leak, like the inside of the courtroom during some of his hearings. Some of that stuff's going to leak for sure. More and more stuff's going to leak over time. But we'll be here when it does. We'll be talking about it when it does. All right? More stuff is going to drop. Trust and believe. All right? But that is the show, guys. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It means a lot. Keep your head up. As more and more information starts to drop, we will be talking about it. But for right now, we're waiting to hear more truths and more facts. I will be back on in a couple hours. There is another piece of information that I do want to share with you guys because like I said, there's a lot going on, y'all. There's a lot going down. So much. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. And so I'm going to do everything I can to keep up and let you guys know what's going down. All right. So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below before we head out. We are 9 likes away from 1K. Come on, guys. Hit that like button down below. Let's get it to 1K. That would really mean a lot. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. That'd be amazing. If you are watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, make sure you are hitting that follow button. Follow. Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Crush that subscribe button over there because I'm covering a lot of things on both channels. There's a lot going on. And there's only one man that's doing it. So I'm trying to cover as much as I can. So go subscribe to both. Make sure the notification bell is set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. And a lot of times it's some breaking-ish news. Okay? So go and do that, please, and thank you. Don't forget to hit that join button down below. Join, become a member if you can. Check out my Patreon and my locals if you want to support even further. And of course, do not forget to check out pascalmerch.com. pascalmerch.com. Check it out. We got some stuff going on over there. We got some really great t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, especially for the holiday season. Tis that time. So go check it out. Please and thank you. Go check out my holiday special GoFundMe. It is pinned to the top of the chat right now as we speak. A little goes a long way. That would be amazing. So please contribute if you can. Also, the link, if you can't find it, if you're watching on the replay, check it out in the description box down below. That would really mean the world to me, okay? But anyway, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys, and I'll be talking to you guys in a couple hours. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.